You know, I've thought a lot about this video over the last week, really. Last week I was in New York City, and it's really difficult to try to explain kind of how this whole process of making God, Family, and Guns videos goes. Normally, we're filming at home, and it's pretty darn easy. This camera that I'm filming on right now, when I first started this channel 6 years ago, this was my wife's camera. Now, it's a great camera. It's a fairly old camera, but a great camera. I have no intentions of replacing this camera. However, at one point, it originally had this lens on it. It's a great lens, but it's more for other things. And of course, without that microphone, this was what maybe first 70, 80 videos sounded like. And then we added this lens. This is more of a portrait lens because the other one broke. Now I have replaced that lens and gotten that one back, but this is the lens we typically use to film with. And then of course we've added a lapel microphone that just simply plugs straight into the camera. Now when we travel, oftentimes I bring this camera with me, but when I went to New York City, I thought, you know what, I'm just gonna bring my iPhone 11. That should be good enough. And ultimately what you got was you got this. And this is really about as good as I can get with the iPhone. Of course, you see a lot of things change all of a sudden, particularly the audio. iPhone's a great phone to film on, but mine's done about 800 videos at this point, and I think clearly the microphone's hit a dead spot. I think I'm due for an iPhone 12 probably. So as you can see, it's a pretty big difference. Now, before we get into kind of what I'm apologizing for, I do want to say that, you know, God, Family, and Guns, one thing I've really noticed about this channel is when we go to SHOT Show, it's always my wife and I. And we lug this camera around and we break out the iPhones quite a bit as well, just doing B-roll, but anytime there's some sort of commentary to be done, this is the camera that we use. But what we see at SHOT Shows, we'll see crews of other YouTube channels where they have a crew of like 9 people with easily $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 worth of equipment. And you know, so we'll see a guy doing an interview, but he's surrounded by camera people with, you know, tens of thousands of dollars worth of cameras and audio equipment. And then we go to see what it is they produce, and they just simply don't do as good as we do on God, Family, and Guns. Because I think there's an artistic piece to it as well. It's really kind of seeing what it is that that appeals to people, and we try to stay very consistent as well. And really, I just do all my editing simply on a MacBook. So really kind of the apologies are basically if we're making a video and it kind of goes to this mode, you see a lot of things change all of a sudden. Please know that we're not necessarily meaning to, or we didn't go another direction, or we're changing things. It just happens to be the situation we're in that moment. Could be that we're out of town and we're really struggling, because it's not just about the cameras as well. It's also about the speed of the internet. So for example, right now we're in Nashville. I'm filming this in an Airbnb kitchen that looks a lot like this. I just happen to like the backdrop behind the sink here. And that's what we use. We just simply use stuff like that. So I just want to apologize for when you see quality just degrade quickly on my videos. No, we're probably out of town. Sometimes, there's times, especially when I'm visiting my brother out in Washington, he lives out in the country, uploading a video may take 9-10 hours, where at home it usually takes about 5-10 minutes. It really makes a big difference. Uploading to YouTube takes forever. Even when I was a principal, our internet at school was okay, but there were times I'd start uploading a video and I'd leave my office, I'd come back 4 or 5 hours later and it says about 12% uploaded. But that's just how it goes sometimes. But just know, apologize that, you know, I know the audio was terrible, I know the video was terrible. People even said my color looked bad. They wondered if I was sick. I felt great the whole time, for the record. This is not, this is the normal. I just want you to know this is kind of the normal God, Family, and Guns. We're definitely not switching anything. Please know if the audio is bad, I know. I'm doing my best. I ended up the last day, because the audio was going up and down, like it'd get real loud and then it'd get quiet. I think something's wrong with my iPhone. It didn't used to do that. So I ended up running to Best Buy and kind of bought this setup. And this is the big difference when you add that microphone. This was about a $40 Best Buy selfie kit right here, but you can see it's a big difference, especially with that terrible audio this phone's gone to. So just know that we have a level of quality that we always try to obtain here at God Family and Guns, and when we don't hit it, we know, and we do apologize. That's not the direction we're heading. We're staying this direction. If anything, we'll get better. We definitely won't go in a direction where we get worse. So again, thank you for your patience in all of this. Again, I'm not a trained, I don't have editors. I don't have camera people that follow me around. I don't have lots of equipment. I still use my wife's camera. It's a great camera. It's a great lens as well, by the way. And I use this lapel mic. I think I paid 18 bucks on Amazon for this lapel mic. And I've used it for a long time. So we're just going to keep going, and if anything, we'll get better. But for now, this is kind of where we stand. Every time many of us fill out a background check and run it through NICS, we kind of wonder to ourselves, where's this going and who has access to this information? Again, I apologize for the quality. There was some important information while we were in New York City. I mean, goodness gracious, a Supreme Court thing came out. There was all these leaked documents from the ATF and the FBI that came out. There was a lot to be said while I was out of town. It had to be said. I apologize for the quality. I apologize for the audio. But it had to be said. Those videos were very important, and they were very timely as well, and I wanted to get them out, even though maybe it looked like this. Yesterday I arrived here in New York City, but we're going to do our best to keep it at the very least this quality right here. So love to hear your thoughts on all that. Put it in the comments below. If you like this video, click like and subscribe. If you feel called to support this channel through Patreon, that link is also below. But the most important part of this channel is we take prayer requests, and never hesitate to send that in. Thank you for watching this episode of God, Family, and Guns. And as always, love God, love your family, love guns.